Hello there my dear friends, and welcome back to another very exciting Star Wars video. Today, we have an enormous reveal from the Legacy of Vader Kylo Ren comics. I've been covering every single issue, and it's been quite the ride. I'm not usually a fan of the newer Star Wars comics, but this run has been very different. It follows the events of Kylo Ren in between episodes 8 and 9, after he kills Snoke, and now he's Supreme Leader of the First Order. He's a very strange and whiny leader, often exhibiting insecurity, and he's very much a petulant child. So as the title of the comic run suggests, Kylo has been tracing Darth Vader's footsteps, trying to emulate his grandfather, and learning about his life. He saw his redemption as failure, and is trying to become a more evil, powerful Vader. One who is not tempted back to the light, but as we know from The Rise of Skywalker, that doesn't last very long. Ben is already conflicted. So in the most recent issues, accompanied by Varney, one of Vader's former loyalists, Kylo goes to Tatooine and then Naboo, learning all about Anakin as well as his grandmother Padme, and check out my previous video on the subject for more information. But now my friends, Kylo Ren learns about Order 66, and he's told it's one of the most brutal things Vader ever did. But when Kylo learns there are still survivors out there, Varney promises the Supreme Leader he's going to help him track them down. And in the most recent issue, issue number 6, it finally happens. And the survivor, who is believed to be one of the Last Jedi, has a surprising connection to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Now it must be said that while the comic labels this person as the last surviving Jedi of Order 66, she almost definitely isn't, because we don't know the fates of Grogu, Baylan Skoll, even Ahsoka, and there are comics like Hyperspace Stories which confirm there were other survivors still operating after The Force Awakens. 2 of them even became bounty hunters. But this is the first one Kylo Ren confronts, and when you really think about it, it reframes what Kylo Ren says to Luke in The Last Jedi. It contributes to Kylo's mental chaos, because it proves he doesn't really have control of the galaxy. He has no idea how many Jedi really survived, and this comic sheds some light on this. The self-appointed Supreme Leader of the First Order thought it was going to be easy. In his arrogance, he thought he could turn Rey to the dark side. He genuinely believed his uncle Luke was the last remnant of the Jedi of old.
Every word of what you just said was wrong.
But there were many more Jedi out there, many who predated Luke and were remnants of the Republic of old. Ones who got very lucky to avoid Darth Vader and his Inquisitors. Ones who survived to see the fall of the Empire and the rise and refall of the New Republic. And Kylo didn't even kill Luke. Luke was buying the Resistance time from halfway across the galaxy, but their exchange still echoed in Kylo's head. Now that Luke was gone, he was determined to be the new Vader. He wanted to form a new legacy, and so the comic begins. General Hux, who at this stage has already abandoned the First Order and is a spy for the Resistance, is still playing along as Kylo's second in command, and he's ensured the Supreme Leader has a new throne, built to specification. Kylo Ren flaunts it, and as a show of power, he has First Order officers and stormtroopers pledge allegiance to him. Kylo Ren loves the attention, and he says, "I know all of this makes you feel small, Hux. It's just not your role to feel large." Seething and secretly plotting his demise, Hux replies, "Of course, Supreme Leader." Kylo then demands to see him in his chambers, but after their conversation, Varney contacts Kylo from the Mid-Rim. "Yes, Varney, what is it?" "I have done as you promised, my prince. I have found you a Jedi." On the snowy Mid-Rim world of Lati, Kylo Ren lands his shuttle. He meets up with Varney, and Kylo asks him, "Is there really a Jedi here? I thought Darth Vader killed them." "Almost, my prince, but the Jedi are like roach rats. You may think you killed all of them, and then another scurries away the moment you turn the light on." Which is not to say that Lord Vader did not try his best. From the moment Palpatine's master stroke rang out through the galaxy, Darth Vader took to his task. No Jedi was safe. That remained true for years after the initial extermination. Vader tracked down every rumor of a Jedi in hiding. He found most of them and killed them. But eventually, my prince, even the ghosts of rumor stopped, and Vader's role under Palpatine evolved. The Jedi were gone, but the rebellion they inspired still needed strangling. Kylo is confused, so if the Jedi are dead, what are we doing here? It turns out Varney still had access to the Empire's old reports. He found the purge file of an Imperial agent and tracked down one Jedi to this location. He sent out First Order spies, and the rumors were true. They tracked the Jedi down. This might have been the same file Grogu was in, because think back to Mando Season 1. The mysterious client knew a lot about Grogu. his age, his unknown species, and his midichlorian count, and Ahsoka Season 1 alluded to Thrawn knowing about them. He had a file on Anakin and Ahsoka. Varney then continues, the name of the Jedi is unknown, but maybe you will discover it. I've sent my own agents, and they've confirmed the details in the report are true. The Jedi remains alive. From this point, my prince, you will travel alone. Now Varney is secretly scared, but he has to pretend he's doing it for the benefit of Kylo. He plays with Kylo's mind and convinces Kylo if he wants to be like Vader, he has to confront the Jedi one-on-one, which of course Kylo agrees to. He enters a local bar, and I'm starting to recognize some of these outfits. Hold on to that thought for just a moment. It's a pretty standard cantina. The bartender's having some banter with clients, telling one of them who's had a bit too much that he should stop, and then Kylo enters, and he stands out like a sore thumb. What will it be, stranger? Kylo tries to blend in and says, wine. I'll drink wine. And even with small talk, Kylo is so darn awkward. Well, wine it is. This is pressed from some local stew grapes. It'll keep you warm for the night, that's for sure. Kylo then cuts right to it. I have a question. Is there anyone in this town who is unusual? The bartender then cracks a joke. Other than yourself? And that's when angsty teenager Kylo comes out and he mind tricks him, demanding he tells him the information about the Jedi. The bartender doesn't seem to know, but while the Supreme Leader is distracted, a mysterious patron uses the Force to grab his lightsaber from across the room. It's an old lady, a Thelan named Grandia. She is the survivor of Order 66. She ignites Kylo's saber, noticing it's red, and she says, "It looks like you've got yourself a cracked kyber crystal here. You ought to get it looked at. But for now, young man, let's chat." Disarmed, Kylo is gonna have to face this former Jedi alone. That is where the comic ends, and the confrontation continues in August. I have so many questions. Who is she? How did she survive unnoticed all these years? And what's gonna happen to her? The preview for the next issue says that we're going to see Clone Wars flashbacks, so we're about to see how she survived Order 66. I have a very strong suspicion she's gonna die, but I wonder how she'll react if she finds out that Kylo was Vader's grandson. She would have remembered Anakin. So, remember how I said there's a connection to the Kenobi show? Well, I noticed something about this Jedi's outfit, and the outfits of everyone on this cold planet. They're all wearing the same kind of coat, and they all look very similar to one specific Jedi from the Jedi tomb on Fortress Inquisitorius. Do you think this Jedi was also from the same planet, and maybe this woman is someone he knew? Very interesting stuff. But what do you guys think? Are you excited to see how this goes down? And what do you make of Kylo facing one of the last survivors of Order 66? Is Lucasfilm doing too much with the Great Jedi Purge? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this one, guys, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, and may the Force be with you, always.